Yeah, I just wanted to do a video today that some thoughts that come across my head after I spoke to an industry professional yesterday here in Washington State who was a vocational rep and also had been a representative for injured workers of her own and her own family. And she'd been on herself, and now she's been a vocational counselor for 10 years. Um, uh, and how she feels that we don't need federal intervention in Washington State, and that Washington State is just fine. It's not broken. Okay, well, that's fine. This is for the people that think like her in Washington State and even other states. If you think your state is not broken, okay, fine. Maybe yours isn't. But there's other states that are broken, where we have men only getting $30,000 in one state for an amputated part, and the next state they get $750,000. Is that fair and just for everybody? And and so don't worry just about your state. Worry about some of the injured workers in the other state that are only getting $30,000 for an arm. And then also you need to worry about the fact that if the employers start coming back to our state and say, hey, we're going to move all our jobs to Alabama because they only have to pay $30,000 for an arm. We want you guys to go ahead and erode your workers' comp system in your state so that you can be equal to that state, or we're going to move to Alabama. Imagine that. Imagine a company from Seattle saying they're going to move away to get, imagine that they're going to move away like Boeing and the other ones to these other states that have cheaper labor and cheaper conditions and people that don't want to take care of their injured workers. So I'm sorry, if you say Washington State is a fine workers' comp and nothing's broken, okay, fine. It's not broken. But we have other states that are. And if we do not address those other states with some federal oversight, it's going to come back and bite us in the ass later. It's only common sense to want to address some federal minimum standards. We have a federal minimum wage. Why not some minimum federal standards? It seems only the right thing to do. So when an inside professional who's been inside the industry for the 10 years comes on and tells me, oh, it's not broken, everything's fine, I'm sorry. I've just lived through it for 6 years, and that is not the case. Anyways, I want to put that out there, that basically if you think your state's not broken, state legislator, fine, your state's not broken then. What about the other states that are, and why are our states going to have to compete against that state so that the jobs will trickle down to us? Well, they don't trickle down, and we shouldn't have to compete against them, and they shouldn't be getting paid only $30,000 for an amputated arm so that they can use that state as a wedge to try and make us get less on our workers' comp. Because one day it's a race to the bottom, and eventually we will be working for 50 cents barefooted and for 50 cents an hour. And that we can't keep competing until everybody's willing to work barefoot and for 50 cents an hour with no safety conditions. Anyways, that's all I had to say. Thank you.